Hey guys, it's Paul Myers, licensed professional counselor, owner and lead therapist of Intentional Counseling. We're a group counseling practice in Frisco, and we specialize in mental health. And today I am going to cover depression treatments that are clinically proven to work. In a previous video, we covered depression symptoms, how to tell if you're depressed, and that was the negative side. So today we're going to cover the positive side and how to conquer your depression, overcome your depression, or to help somebody who's experiencing it, right? So let's list the 5 areas of treatment. So we have our first line of defense for treatment is professional help, right? Very, very effective. There's really only 2 versions of professional help currently. It's therapy. If you haven't had a therapist, I recommend you go. It's just for people who want to improve and be better, right? It's for people who want to be healthy. The second thing is medication, right? So professional help, there's only 2 options. Either a counselor, therapist, or a psychiatrist, or someone that does medication, right? The medications for depression, most of the time, are very helpful. They do work, they do help, and they're relatively less invasive than other medications. Certain medications have really high addictive components to it, have a lot of negative side effects. When the depression medications are of a lesser potency compared to the rest of the psychotropic meds that are available out there, right? So if you're going to take any psychotropic medication, depression medication usually is probably the safest play out of most of this, right? But usually those 2 combined, you get the best results. If you're doing everything, you get great results. The medication helps take your depression down a couple notches, and the therapy helps try to actually solve problems and really get to the root of what's going on and fix that, okay? So another area of treatment for depression is your physical health. Your brain is a part of your body. So with your physical health, you want to be monitoring your diet, you want to be sleeping, and you want to be exercising, right? Does diet, sleep, and exercise really help a lot with depression? Sometimes just that right there helps people get out of it if it's a more mild depression, right? Sleep, usually we need anywhere from 7 to 9 hours. It just depends on how old you are. The younger you are, the more sleep you need. The older you are, the less sleep you're going to need, right? And so exercise is always good, specifically cardiovascular exercise. So elevated heart rate for 30 minutes is great cardio, and you get all the endorphins, all the serotonin release that we're looking for to help treat depression, those neurotransmitters that make you feel better, okay? So we got that as a huge part of the treatment here. So professional help, good physical health. Next one is good spiritual health. Spirituality is different from religion. Religion's more behavior-oriented, it's more specific actions or rules, versus spirituality is more of a belief system and a relationship with God. And it's more of a personal thing. It's much more helpful, much more beneficial for people. And we find that the spirituality, there's meaning and purpose, there's hope, there's direction, there's identity, there's value that people feel gaining from that perspective and that experience. Very positive for people. And it actually made the list for one of the clinically proven treatments for depression, right? Next is the hobbies and interests section. Hobbies and interests. So we recommend 2 to 4 hobbies that you really enjoy. A hobby is just something you do for your own personal sense of satisfaction, right? We're not doing something to fit in, or we're not doing it to make friends, or we're not doing it to advance your career or make business connections or feel better about ourselves, or really any reason other than the fact that we enjoy it. That's a hobby, right? So it's personal satisfaction only. Some recommendations for hobbies, just a disclaimer. We want them to be non-addictive, right? So things that are addictive don't make good hobbies. That's not a hobby, that's an addiction, right? Hobbies are things that are natural, that are healthy, that are positive for us. Exercise could be a hobby, or anything related to fitness could be a great hobby. Sports, music, traveling, books, games, movies, puzzles, art, drawing, reading, writing, anything that you do because you enjoy it, right? Is a hobby. There's many options. We recommend 2 to 4. Okay, last treatment for depression here is your social life. It's your relationships. Social. So social is part relationships with family, being most important, part relationships with your friends, and any outside people that you just want to help and you want to influence positively, right? So it's others that don't even fall into those categories. They say the happiest individuals are the ones who are focused on others rather than focused on themselves, right? Volunteering is a great way, or serving others is a great way to help, and it feels really good. So really positive, right? Very rewarding. So that's pretty much it. That's depression treatment in a nutshell. We have professional help, first line of defense, great physical health, great spiritual health, hobbies, 2 to 4, just for your personal satisfaction, and your relationships with others and your connections with others, from friends and family, even strangers. So, all right, that is it. If you struggle with depression at all, the good news is it's a very curative disorder. So you can eliminate that disorder. It doesn't have to be a permanent thing that you deal with the rest of your life. You can get out of it, right? There's hope for you. These things do work. The problem with depression is we see a lot of energy taken away and motivation taken away when you are depressed. So it becomes very difficult when you have no energy and no motivation to put effort into building these things up in your life, right? So a lot of the time initially when you're depressed and we're trying to get out of it, it really helps to have other people to kind of encourage you and pull you out of bed and get you to the gym and get you hanging out with your friends and get you out of the house and get you to therapy and get you to church and get you to do the things that you need to do to really get yourself out of depression and meet those really core needs that we have as human beings to have meaning, purpose, direction, and value in our lives, right? So these things are all really geared towards value in your life, just being happy and having things that are positive, right? Very helpful. So leave your comments below. If you have any questions, we'd love to hear from you, and I'd be happy to answer any of those. If you have a story maybe you want to share, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this and depression. It's very common. So maybe share what worked for you, things that helped you get out of depression so it helps another person. Or maybe if you are struggling with depression, then maybe share a little bit about your story as well. The more people we help, the better. So, all right, guys, we appreciate you stopping by. If you find this helpful at all, feel free to subscribe or visit our website at www.intentionalcounseling.com. And until next time, take care.